Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while, but as you could imagine, been busy with school. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. But in today's video, I'm actually going to give you a little background about who I am and how I got into nursing and my future plans. So for those who don't know, my name is Darius. I graduated high school in 2012 from Mesquite High School, which is located in Arizona. So I graduated in 2012 and I went through college. My first 2 years of college were at a community college, and I had the mindset of I want to be some type of business person. Like, I always liked the dream and thought of wearing nice suits to work every day, carrying a briefcase, and going to important meetings, making big decisions, and being paid well. I took a trip to DC, I think in 2009, and everybody was in suits, had briefcases, and I was like, wow, I want to be them. I also had like a passion for getting into like government type work, like maybe be a senator or something. I always thought that was awesome. I always wanted to do something like that, but I obviously did not go that route. So I started taking business classes my freshman year of college, and it was going great. I liked the class I was taking. I was getting good grades, and I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. I'll do 2 years here, get my associates, and I was going to transfer to Arizona State University, get a business degree in that. So I think it was during my first year of college or the beginning of my second year, my parents said, hey Darius, you should go into the medical field for job security. And honestly, reluctantly, I was just like, alright, whatever. So the next semester, I transferred all my courses and started studying medical. So now I'm taking biology. Luckily, they took my chemistry from high school, so I was like, thank goodness for that. But I started taking biology, started taking all these psychology classes, you know, just classes that were way different than taking business classes. And yes, they were harder. My grades dropped a little bit. They were still fine, but they were, you know, I wasn't getting A's like in my other business classes. So I started taking harder courses, and due to the fact that I didn't really have a passion for like the science stuff, and with my grades not being as well, I was like, this is kind of annoying. I don't like it at all, but I continue to go through it. So I'm taking Bio 201, which is anatomy, and physiology, which is like skeleton and muscles. Did not like that class. Then I took Bio 202, and Bio 202 is where I really found something that sparked my interest in science. So Bio 202 is where we started learning about the organs of the body, and I find that very fascinating. And then I took pathophysiology, which talks about what goes wrong with all the organs in your body. So I'm like, wow, this is like super eye-opening. Like, most people have no idea how hard your organs are working to keep you alive, and all the possible things that could go wrong with each body system. So I'm like, wow, this is really awesome. So now I'm like, okay, I like the medical field, it's interesting. Now, what am I going to do in the medical field? Do I want to be a nurse? Do I want to be a psychiatrist? Do I want to be a physical therapist, occupational therapist, or a dental hygienist? So I narrowed it down to being a nurse or an occupational therapist or dental hygienist. What kind of was the deciding factor was I got in the spot where I was like, okay, I got a lot of these prerequisites done. So I was like, occupational therapist, that seems pretty fun. But then I was like, maybe either dental hygiene or nursing. So I looked at them side by side, and I would have gotten into nursing school faster than dental hygiene. So that honestly was truly my deciding factor. No, I don't have a really cool story of a medical experience that inspired me to be a nurse or anyone in my family. No one in my family is in the medical field. So I chose nursing, and I was like, alright, fine. Very wide variety of things you can do in nursing. Let's go for it. So now I am at the point where I can put my name on, you know, the lovely waiting list of how to get into nursing school. Okay, so I got my name on the waiting list. Now what? Well, there's concurrent enrollment programs where, for an example, I chose a community college, and then I'm going to partner up with the university to meet their prerequisites, so that way I can do my community college and my university at the same time in order to get my bachelor's in 2.5 years rather than 4 years. So if you guys have an opportunity to have a program like this offered to you, highly recommend it. It's cheaper, it's faster. I was very fortunate in the fact that here a new school called Upper Iowa University was introduced to Arizona. So I could have applied to Arizona State University, I could have applied to Northern Arizona University, or like Ottawa University. And so while I'm like on the waiting list, I've only been on the waiting list for maybe like 4 months now, and Upper Iowa came down to Mesa, Arizona as a new partner to be offered with the Concurrent Enrollment program. So I'm like, okay, new school, let's check it out. So I went to their information session, heard about what they're all about. So what I did was I applied to Upper Iowa. So because they were new to Arizona, I was one of the first people to actually apply to their program. Because of that, after I applied, I think it was about maybe 2 months afterwards, 3 months afterwards, I heard back from them. And it might have been shorter than that. And they said, hey, we accept you to our nursing concurrent enrollment program. I was so excited. So the waiting list at the time was 2 years, I believe, maybe even more. Because of Upper Iowa accepting me first, I got to choose whatever community college I wanted to go to at the time. So I said, okay, now I want to go to Mesa Community College, and I want to go to their nursing program. That allowed me to bypass the waiting list. I got accepted into the Mesa program, Upper Iowa program right away, and now, before you know it, I'm in nursing school. It happened very quick. I was extremely fortunate and blessed to be in that position. So now what? I'm going through my nursing school, right? And so nursing school, of course, big shock. Nothing like I've ever experienced before. It's just constant studying. The way they word their questions, like if you have watched my previous video, I talk about things I wish I knew before nursing school, and like, there's some things what to expect and how to succeed. Nursing school like totally was like a complete surprise, and so I'm going through it, and you know, my first test came and I actually passed. I got an 80%, and I was like, oh wow, that's not bad. And then I'm like, okay, whatever, so maybe it's not that bad. And then so I continued the semester, and I get my second test. I completely bombed my second test. Like, it was terrible, and I was like, okay, big slap in the face. All right. So that actually brought my percentage way down. So from there on out, I was literally playing catch up the entire semester. I get my next test, my third test. I think, remember, you have to get a 76% or above to pass. In that test, I think I got like maybe like a 70%, which is obviously still below. So now my average has dropped a little more. So at this point, still playing catch up. By the time the semester is coming to an end, I have about 3 more tests. I get an 88% on my very last test. I get an 80% on my final, and I get about an 85% on my HESI. So I'm like, alright, I'm doing well. Hopefully this will bring me up. The final grades were put in, and I fell short by 1.8%. 1.8% kept me from passing my very first block of nursing school. Yes, I was extremely devastated. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I cried. I'm not a crier. I'm not big into my emotions, but I cried. And I was embarrassed. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know how your program is, but where we're at, if you do not pass your first block, they actually make you reapply. So you have to go through the entire process and be put back on the waiting list. I was like, okay, I'm going to switch my career. I'm not going back. That's a wrap. So I signed up for different classes, okay? So now I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to go back, take these prereqs and go to occupational therapy. I'm set on occupational therapy, had meetings with someone that could really help me out. Sign up for my courses. Now, I think it's about 2 days before the semester starts. 2 days before I start, taking courses for occupational therapy. I get an email from my dean of nursing saying, "Hey Darius, we have a spot open for you if you want to come back." I was relieved, but I honestly almost did not take the opportunity. I was gonna turn it down because I was like, I can't stand the thought of going back and doing every single thing all over again when I can just start something completely new. So I gave it some thought and I emailed her back and I was like, I will come back. Best decision I've ever made, because ever since then, I mean, I couldn't be more happy, more grateful to have the opportunity to come back to nursing school. So I came back and I actually met even more friends there. If you don't have friends in nursing school, it makes it harder to pass. Like, you don't need friends, but forming friends creates study groups, and study groups like throughout nursing school, very much needed. So, you know, I go back, it's great, whatever. People knew that I didn't pass. Like, some people knew, and then, you know, they always ask you questions, oh, what to expect, do this and that. I'm just like, yo, no, I don't know, guys. Like, you can expect some of this, but, like, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, you know, it's kind of like one of those things that you don't want to be bothered, you know, like, let me just focus and go about my business. So, going through, I passed the second block, and, you know, I passed my third block, and so now I'm in my fourth block. Remember, I almost quit. I almost gave up on nursing school, and now I am about 13 weeks away from graduating. It has been a very tough journey, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, for me, it has not been easy at all. Like, my second block was not very hard. Third block was very, very challenging. And I'm in my fourth block, the hardest one of them all. And I just, you know, got my fingers crossed. Just gotta make sure I dot my I's, cross my T's, and I focus all throughout this semester. Because, I mean, I'm 13 weeks away from graduating. And then I'm about a few months away from taking my NCLEX, and then bam, job. Like, I'm an RN, and I have friends that have passed already. The ones I was supposed to graduate with, some of them are already RN, so I'm extremely jealous. I'm very proud of them, and it's such a motivator to see them, you know, like, they went through it. I was supposed to be like them, and now they're done, and to see them, like, pass their NCLEX and get a job, it's so motivational, and very excited to get to that point. So I'm just here to tell you that take it very, very seriously. I had a lot of distractions. You know, like, yes, I would study, but I would also go out and party, or I'd also hang out with friends. I'm a very social person, and you just have to crack down on all the outside noise. You know, you just got to give it your all in studying. Yes, you can still completely go out and have fun, but try to do it to a minimum. School is your number one focus. I still have to tell myself that. My parents have to tell me that. Make sure, you know, I'm, like, still grinding. But thank you guys for watching. I just want to give you guys a quick little rundown or history of who I am. I hope this video helps you. Just want you to take it seriously if you haven't started the program yet, or if you're currently in the program. You know, just don't let up. If you're doing well, keep it going. If you're struggling, it's time to pick it up a little bit. Find resources, study groups. There's NCLEX books. There are websites, NCLEX RN, RN Creator, Nurses Labs. Those are all awesome websites. And make sure you guys read the rationales when you take these practice questions of why you got them wrong. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. I gotta get back to studying. Have a good day.